Once a royal family workplace, this distinguished property stood as a symbol of heritage and leadership when Abu Dhabi was little more than an untouched expanse of sand. As the city flourished, the estate evolved, becoming home to the Thailand embassy, where it served as a diplomatic cornerstone. Today, this former palace enters a new chapter, transformed into an exclusive private space for bespoke business endeavors, an enduring testament to its rich past and timeless prestige.
Why don't we just tell folks who you are, right, and a little bit about your asset management company and let them know who we're talking to. That would be great.
Yeah, sure. Thanks, Don. Pleasure to see you again after all these years and to work with you.
My pleasure.
I run a hedge fund. I've been a global hedge fund manager for the past 25 years or so, coming out of investment banking, focused on structured credit, derivatives, fixed income, and the like.
Right. And you're actually pretty well known, right? Like if somebody was to look you up, you're pretty.
I like to say those who need to know about me, and those who don't need to know about me,
Okay.
I'm just
That's fair
nobody.
Enough. Right.
Yeah.
Right. So how did you end up landing here in the UAE?
So I retired from my old company and was just setting up my own family office, doing my own thing, and ran into somebody who advises the royal family in UAE. And I had managed some money for the sovereign wealth funds in Abu Dhabi before, and they invited me to join them. So my macro views have been very strong in the past 20, 30 years. I've had a lot of clarity over the direction of markets and the way the world was unfolding,
right?
Which is how I made money investing. I still have very strong views today about how things are going, and people seem to gravitate towards my ideas and what I think. So
right.
I get invited to speak to governments around the world, politicians, royal families, and I enjoy working with them.
Yeah, who wouldn't, right? That's pretty exciting. So yeah, that was just to give everyone an idea of who we're talking to. So Gary and I hadn't spoken for like 15 years, and then when all of this happened, then I heard from you out of the blue, and I remember that was like not long, it was like right before Christmas. I remember you calling me and you said, "Hey, you remember me, Gary Wee?" And I remembered you like it had been yesterday. You know, I even remembered the tables that we did together because we met over tables. Like most of my customers usually find me on the dining room tables, and so it was amazing to hear back from you. And I was just so honored that Gary moves into this big, beautiful villa, and I'm one of the first guys that you're thinking about when it comes to furniture. So I guess that was one of the questions I had was, so of what brings you, what brought you back to me? I mean, I'm sure I'm not the only guy you've ever purchased furniture for, but yet here I was.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So the thing that stood about you, Don, all these years is quality and service. The range of product selection that you have is exceptional. And honestly, I couldn't find better quality furniture anywhere. I could find cheaper stuff, but I don't think the quality was there. I don't think my expectations would be met by somebody else. And I have bought furniture from other places, which I've been a little disappointed with in the past.
Right.
So yours has always stood out. Your furniture has traveled with me around the planet.
Oh yeah, you've moved it around.
I've moved multiple jurisdictions.
That's right, because the tables that we originally did in Toronto were in Singapore or something with you?
Yeah, they went to Barbados, and then they went to Singapore, and they moved. In between those, they moved a few times, different
How
houses.
did that work out, by the way, with damage and everything? Did you get good people on that? Because I know that.
Yeah, I mean they did suffer a few nicks and scratches
Yeah.
here and there, but nothing major. By and
Right.
large, they held up well and still look beautiful, and I still have them today.
That's right. You were saying this, you're not sure if you have enough a house to put all this furniture in, right? I had then two questions that might help people who are watching me from across state lines and who never met me, right? Mm-hmm. So if there were, this is a two-part question, right? And in regards to my offering, right? So the first part is the commodity of the furniture, and then also the other important thing is, like you said, the service, right? Mm-hmm. So I would first think, like, what would be your favorite piece of furniture that we've done? I mean, we've done a lot of furniture together, even up to today. What do you think is the thing that what was your favorite piece of furniture?
I'm probably going to say it's this table right.
I thought it might have been,
this
right?
table right here, yeah.
This table is a beauty.
This is the most substantive piece we've done together in terms of scale and
right.
The amount of work I think you also put into it to
yes,
customize.
This is one of our own designs. Yeah.
Yeah.
And it takes a leap of faith to do a table like this sight unseen. You've never seen any of my furniture. It's only just been photography and some discussions. This is obviously a big deal. That's the privilege I get. People trust me with things like this. That's pretty awesome. Now, what about the service? So what's your favorite part about knowing what you're going to get from me and my brand with service?
So placing the order with you, I know it's always going to be timely. So that's important. As you know, when we're trying to outfit something and make it look just right for ourselves and customers, we want to be here today.
Yesterday.
Yeah, and as you know, in this case, it took a little while to get here. So there's the anticipation of its arrival, and everybody around me was really excited.
I heard about that. I heard some guys saying, "Hey, that table is here that we've been talking about."
And I'd made promises for a whole year around this. Yeah. This is going to look great.
Hey, I felt whatever little pressure that is. I knew how important it was to get this here, because who wants to embarrass Gary in front of royal family? It's like it had to get here.
So yeah, no, it was highly anticipated. But what was important was I knew it would be done right.
Yeah.
So I wasn't concerned about how long it took. I wanted it to be done right. I knew the quality would be good. I knew I would get what I saw, in the pictures or what we discussed.
Right. Yeah.
And that was critical for me. You're an honest broker. I love that about you. So I don't, I feel you always try to give me the best price you can for, the merchandise that you're providing, which is high quality.
Oh, so yesterday during lunch, you kind of made the hair stand on my back, because you had mentioned that you used the word experience. Like, remember you had said, Don, you want people to have a good experience. Well, funny enough, but about a year ago, my wife had come up with a kind of a slogan, which is actually on my website. We have this like the AP experience, because even my wife said, like, at my shop, we do kind of offer an experience that you don't get at a typical shop,
Right.
So maybe you can tell a potential or client, what do you think the AP experience might be summed up in from also from the design, everything. You're in your view, experience you think people could expect to get here.
So, if I could try to put a catchphrase around it, I would say, professional with a personal touch.
Okay. Yeah.
Okay. There's not too many guys I deal with who would fly all the way here, halfway across the world, to help me do the installation, to make sure that everything was done right, and that was greatly appreciated. Not, totally unexpected of you, but greatly appreciated. And I think it's just telling in how you treat your customers as mission critical for you, and you want to make sure that they do have the best experience that you can provide. And that that personalization is not something you get from large companies, from most firms.
Right.
So you go above and beyond duty to fulfill your customers' needs, and I think
I get there is
that's why I come back to you.
Yeah, well, that's awesome, and I'm always putting myself in that customer's position, and it's like, you know, you're buying all this furniture, sight unseen, you put all this trust in me, and it's like, how do I not come here and make sure that every screw, you saw what I went through here the last 3 days, a lot of little things in here.
Absolutely.
It just, how would have I felt if I would have gotten a full container full of furniture, everything boxed, very hard to understand what goes into what room, right? So all I wanted to do was to sweep you off your feet and make everything awesome. I wanted you to, it's not only about the furniture, it's about the customer and the experience, and that's...
Well, you've certainly done that, Don.
That's awesome. I'm glad you picked it up at lunch too, because that is a pretty big important part of this thing. So I just thought I would tell you that you're this like brilliant hedge fund manager guy, but I was telling you at lunch, I think that you were one of the most amazing people, because working for you, as soon as you call, even the very first day, I don't know what it is about this magnetic personality that you have, but from the first day I met you, I wanted to work for you. And you are just an amazing, and the humility thing that you were talking about in this family and everything. I think I don't know if it was your army or your upbringing or something like that, but you are such a humble and graceful person. So
thank you, sir.
Thanks for coming back to me, and I look forward to helping you more in the villa as we work in your library, whatever it is
I look forward to that too, and thank you for, again, excellent friendship that's developed as well over the course of our doing business.
Yeah, and thank you for, oh my gosh, you put me up at this beautiful hotel. I know Leslie, my wife, if you're listening, Gary was really hoping that you were going to be here, but we had an amazing time. It was a lot of work, but it was awesome. It was a really good time. So
great. And
thank you for giving me a few minutes here to share your story with my
happy
customers.
to serve as a reference, and I'm a pleased customer.
Yeah. All right.
Thank you,
Thanks
Don.
a lot.
Thank you.
Thanks.